Hello, everybody. I'm Mike Donnelly with Barrier-Free Contractors, and this is the Accessible Barrier-Free Homes channel. I combine it with the Accessing My Home podcast, which gives us two ways to listen and watch our exceptional experts. Today, we're speaking with Mynor Ramos. He's the owner of the TOC Agency, and Mynor is an expert on many financial issues. With a background in real estate, mortgages, insurance, understands the importance of setting up many financial documents, especially those with mobility challenges or any disabilities or people having children with special needs. Today, Mynor is going to touch on more aspects of estate planning and what that means for people and the importance of it. Mynor, why don't you give us your best takes on all of this good stuff? And thanks for being here today, bud.
Absolutely. Well, Mike, I love talking about this. I have a passion for it. And I have a story that goes along with it, and that is Kayla's story. She's the one that just propelled us into this, and I thank her for it. But the beneficiaries are going to be folks who have maybe heard this before, but don't really understand, what it's about. So usually when you hear estate planning, like, oh, right, like, people dying, and you go to an estate a garage sale or estate sale, and there's an old home and all this stuff. It doesn't sound like you. That's not what estate planning is. The other concept people have is that it's too expensive and it's only for the very high, super wealthy. Well, I'm here to tell you that if you have any dependents, especially any dependents that maybe have some mobility issues, any dependents that may have some issues with special needs. Let's call it for what it is, special needs. It is so important to understand the basics, is that you can control what happens to those individuals and your dependents in case you are no longer able to consciously care for them, because maybe you're in a coma in a hospital bed somewhere, or worse, you transition into eternity. Those moments, we don't know when they're going to happen, and no one could be fully prepared for them. Now, I'm talking about the emotional part of it, but the financial part of it and the succession part of it. Listen to the language that we're using, succession, because the fact that parents pass away doesn't exclude the existence of their children moving on in life. But it's what we do before we get to that point that will propel them and allow them to live out, a healthy life and a good life, right? So estate planning is really, in its simplest forms, your wishes for taking care of your family and your loved ones, especially those with special needs, in exactly the way that you want it. You do it through a will, and you explain all your wishes. You secure it with a trust. And then what you do, and this is what we're experts in, is you fund the trust. There are a high number of trusts that are created. Let's call it a family trust. Let's call it a revocable trust. There's so many different kinds of trusts. But the idea is that in this document, you are actually going directly to the provisions that you have under the law, and you avoid having to go to the court for the court to make the decision for you. And so what that does, it puts your family in a winning position, and you can stop feeling guilty that you didn't, do anything for them. You could just literally, take control of it. Really, that's what it's all about. It's about control. We all like, I laugh about this all the time, because whatever side of the aisle people are on, and I don't talk about politics, but when, this is really important. People put more emphasis on who they're voting for than take care of the people that are their loved ones. And it doesn't matter who is sitting in the administration or what, city government or local government is taking care of, the community. You as an individual control what happens to your family through estate planning and through these financial documents that are so important. If you didn't catch the earlier video, we talked a little bit about the different types of documents that need to go into these trusts.
Well, quickly, give us those 4 repeatable scenarios that you did in the past one. That's going to help.
Absolutely. So remember that you are already living in a decision. Once you become incapacitated and once you pass away and you go into eternity, you have already made your choice right now. Meaning, if you create your will, your power of attorney, your medical power of attorney or your health proxy, and your trust, whether it's a revocable trust, irrevocable trust, family trust, well, we can get into what, but it's basically those 4 documents. If you have those created, now you've taken control and you've made a decision about what's going to happen to your loved ones, and especially your loved ones with, with mobility issues and special needs. Those 4 documents are so critical to the decision that you make while you have all your senses and, and you're completely aware. You can do this now, or else someone will make a decision for you.
Now, that control thing is huge, Mynor. And the wisdom of putting this together prior to anything happening is essential. And that's what you're bringing to the table. So, we thank you so much. And folks, I got to tell you, what Mynor's just brought to us is going to make a huge impact in your life. Peace of mind, all the good stuff that he's brought to the table here is just spectacular. So I want to ask you all, since he's brought so many good things here, would you please subscribe to us, because you're going to hear things like this from many people like Mynor. And Mynor, thank you so much for doing this. It's been a pleasure as always, and we will chat on the next journey. Okay.
It's my pleasure. All right. Thanks, Mike.
Okay, bud.